in Iraq. We can't do for Afghans what they must ultimately do for themselves. That's why we're training Afghan security forces and supporting a political resolution to Afghanistan's problem.
Well, we're in Afghanistan.
Next August, we will begin a transition to Afghan responsibility. The pace of our troop reductions will be determined by conditions on the ground.
Pulling out of
Iraq
Iraq,
for Afghanistan will
we're
endure.
in Afghanistan.
But make no mistake, this transition will begin
there so that
because
we
open-ended
can take
war
a
serves
stand,
neither our
fighting
interests
for freedom,
nor the Afghan people's.
helping the
Indeed,
Afghan people,
one of the lessons of our
fighting for
effort in
freedom.
Iraq is that American influence around the world is not a function of military force alone.
It's not just
We must use all
military
elements of our power,
force.
including our diplomacy,
They want to
our
try
economic
to
strength,
get along,
and the power
of
of
course,
America's example,
teach the people
to secure our interests and stand by our allies.
that they are
And we
worthy
must project a
teach
vision
the
of the future
people
that's based not just on our fears,
of what they
but
are
also on our hopes.
doing.
A vision that recognizes the real dangers that exist around the world, but also the limitless possibilities of our time. Today, old adversaries are at peace.
Well,
And
bring
emerging democracies are
adversaries
potential
to the
partners.
table.
New markets for our goods stretch from
Peace
Asia
and
to the
sharing
Americas.
if you're able.
A new push for peace in the Middle East will
The
begin
push
here.
for peace in the
tomorrow.
Middle East will begin.
Billions of young people
There,
want to move beyond the shackles
there
of
and
poverty
here
and
until
conflict.
it's everywhere.
As the leader of the free world,
Yeah.
America will do more
As the
than
leader
just
of the
defeat
free
on the
world,
battlefield those who offer hatred and
America.
destruction. We
As
will
the
also
leader
lead
of the
among
free
those who are
world,
willing to work together to expand
America.
freedom and opportunity
As the
for
leader
all
of the
people.
free world,
Now that effort
America.
must begin within our own borders.
Well, we must begin
Throughout our
to
history, America has been willing to bear the burden of promoting liberty and human dignity overseas, understanding its links to our own liberty and
understand
security.
pieces in the
But we
air,
have also
yeah.
understood that our nation's
Well,
strength and
to
influence abroad
understand,
must be firmly anchored in our
Got
prosperity
to be
at home.
strong now.
And the bedrock of that prosperity must
And
be
the
a
bedrock
growing
of
middle class.
prosperity. Well,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
over the last decade,
Out of Iraq
we've
and
not
into
done what's necessary to
Afghanistan,
shore up the
where
foundations
they're
of
gonna
our own
try
prosperity.
and take a
We
stand,
spent
fighting
$1
for
trillion
freedom,
at war,
to help show
often financed
people
by borrowing from
what it
overseas.
is now.
This in
And
turn
to
has
maintain
shortchanged
it
investments
for
in our
their
own people
own,
and
yeah.
contributed to record deficits. For too long,
And
we
then
have
turn
put
it
off
to the
tough
economy.
decisions on everything from our manufacturing base to our energy policy
The
to
economy,
education reform.
trying to prevent it from
As a result, too many middle-class
backsliding.
families find themselves working harder for less,
Trying to prevent it
while our
from
nation's long-term competitiveness is put at risk.
Iraq
at this
and
moment,
then
As we wind
Afghanistan,
down the war in Iraq,
and now the
we must tackle those
economy,
challenges
well,
at home
it's in
with
your
as much
hands.
energy and grit
Looking
sense of common
for
purpose
new sources
as our
of
men and women in
energy.
uniform who have
What are
served
we gonna
abroad.
do when old runs out?
They
Well,
have met every test that they faced.
Well, we're
Now it's our
going back to basics
Now it's our responsibility
now.
to honor them
Well,
by
we just
coming
might
together,
go back
all of
to
us,
basics
and working
now.
to secure the dream that so many generations have fought for.
Working to secure the
The
dream.
dream that a better life awaits anyone
A better
who is
life
willing
awaits
to work
for
for it
any
and reach for it.
If
Our
you
most
reach
urgent
for it,
task is to
that
restore our
better
economy,
life is yours.
put the millions of Americans who've lost
If
their
you strive
jobs
for it,
back to
you'll
work.
open up the door.
To strengthen our middle class, we must give all our children the education they deserve, and all our workers the skills that they need to compete in a global economy. We must jumpstart industries that create jobs, and end our dependence on foreign oil. We must unleash the innovation that allows new products to roll off our assembly
Things
line,
that create
and
jobs.
nurture the ideas that spring from
Learn how
our
to
entrepreneurs.
find new sources that are
This will be
jobs.
difficult.
Find
In
new
the days to
sources of
come,
energy
it must be
that
our
work for
central mission
everyone.
as a people. And my
Work
central
for and
responsibility
remember that
as
we're
president.
one people.
Part of that responsibility is
Well,
making sure that we honor our
responsibility.
commitments to those who have served our
Commitments.
country with such valor. As long as I am president,
Remember
we will
now,
maintain the finest fighting force
gonna
that the
try to
world has ever known.
maintain
And we will
what we
do
got.
whatever it takes to serve our veterans
Try to
as well
serve
as they
our
have served us.
people a lot.
This is a sacred trust.
Remember, there's a sacred
That's
trust.
why we've already made one of the largest increases in funding for veterans in
A sacred
decades.
trust, oh yeah.
We're treating
Don't
the signature
mess it
wounds
up.
of today's wars. Post-traumatic
Just
stress
remember
disorder
now,
and traumatic brain
we're
injury.
all one people. people.
while providing the health care and
Yeah.
benefits that all of our veterans
We're
have.
all one.
We're
We're
funding a
one.
post 9/11 GI Bill
one,
that helps our
one.
veterans and their
People
families
now.
pursue the dream
One,
of
one,
a
one,
college
one,
education.
one.
Just as the GI Bill helped those who fought World War II
Wanting to help
including
those
my
who
grandfather,
fought before,
become the backbone of our middle class.
the backbone.
So today's servicemen and women
Once more.
must have the chance to apply
Don't
their
forget the
gifts
middle
to expand
class.
the American
Don't
economy.
forget the lower class.
As part of ending a war responsibly,
There's always
standing by
then
those
a higher
who
class
fought.
now. Well, remember that
2
we're
weeks ago,
one people. Yeah.
America's final
Well,
combat brigade in
remember that
Iraq,
we're one
the Army's
people.
4th Striker
Yeah.
Brigade,
Well,
journeyed
if
home
you got that
in
in
complete
your
darkness.
heart, then don't
Thousands of
forget it.
soldiers, hundreds of vehicles made the trip from
Oh
Baghdad.
yeah, well there's a
The last of
little
them passing into
little
Kuwait in the early morning
lower
hours.
and high.
Over 7
Type
years
of
before,
class you see in the
American
glass
troops and
of your
coalition partners
eye.
had fought their way across
Just
the war
remember
islands.
this one
But
thing:
this time, no shots were fired. It
we're all one
was
people.
just a convoy of brave
Yeah.
Americans making their way home.
Well, we're gonna find a way
course,
home for
the soldiers
everyone.
left
So
much
come
behind.
on home now.
Some
We're
were
gonna
teenagers
try
when
and
the
do
war
things
began.
good, yeah, for
Many had served
everyone.
multiple tours of duty,
Well,
far from
from
families
there
who
to
bore a heroic burden of their
welcome
own.
home.
And during the absence of a
Welcome
husband's
home
embrace,
now, yeah.
her mother's kiss. Most painfully, since the war began, 55 members of the 4th Striker Brigade made the ultimate
Wow,
sacrifice.
welcome home now.
Part of over 4,400 Americans who have given their lives in Iraq. As one staff sergeant said, I know that to my brothers in arms who fought and died, this day would probably mean a lot. Those Americans gave their lives for the values that have lived in the hearts of our people for over 2 centuries. Along with nearly 1.5 million Americans who have served in
Well,
Iraq.
giving your life for
They fought
the
in a
values you
faraway place
believe
that
in.
people
That's what
they
people
never
have
knew.
done through history.
They stared into the
Well,
dark
giving your life for the
darkest
values you believe
of human
in.
creations
Well, yes,
War.
sir. Well,
and
the
helped the
people who
Iraqi
have done
people
that,
seek the light of peace.
well, they've seen the light of peace.
In an age without
They've
surrender
sacrificed
ceremonies,
everything they got.
we must earn
And
victory
they
through the
did
success
with
of our partners
ease.
and the strength of our own nation.
Well, now
Every American who serves joins an unbroken line of heroes that stretches from
an unbroken
Lexington
line
to
of
Gettysburg,
heroes.
from Iwo Jima
Lines
to
are
Vientiane,
history.
from Khe Sanh to
They
Kandahar.
reached for the stars and
Americans who have fought
well,
to see
they've
that the
seen-
lives of our children
they've seen
are
another
better than our
passion with eyes of
Our
justice.
troops are the steel in our ship of state.
Things that they would do with
And though our
special
nation
vision.
may be traveling through rough waters,
Well, rough
they give
water
us confidence
or
that our
not,
course is true.
they run
And
the
beyond the
course
pre-dawn
that's
darkness,
true. If they
better
count
days
a lot.
lie ahead. Thank you.
Well,
May God
thank
bless
you
you.
now, and God
May God
bless
bless
you.
the United States of America
Well, thank
and
you.
all who serve her.
God bless you.
The President of the
Thank
United
you
States,
now.
speaking for just about
And
18
God
minutes or
bless
so
you.
from the Oval Office to making the case for the end of this war in Iraq, although the fighting no doubt will continue. 50,000 U.S. troops still remain on the ground. They will be there until the end of next year at least. Operation Iraqi Freedom, the President says, is over. The Iraqi people now have the lead responsibility for the security of their country. We're here with complete analysis. All of our reporters and analysts here in Washington.